Welcome back to Stocklabs for another market recap. And first week of May has wrapped up, and it was kind of a soft week, which is more or less what we're sort of expecting coming in. April was soft overall, except for the final couple days where we had a big ramp, and then sort of this first week of May started giving some of that back. The Nasdaq actually did okay. I mean, not okay. It closed, I think, flat. Yeah, Qs were up 7 basis points. The rest, IWM down 45 basis points. S&P down 8 or 9/10, and the Dow, the weakest, down 1.26%. Bonds were also weak, down 1.5%. Crude oil, bad week, down 6% or more. Gold, pretty good, up 1.4%. So yeah, everything outside of kind of the big tech was, a bit soft. If we look at the leadership stocks from this week, we've got Tesla up 3.5%. Nvidia about the same, up 3.25%. Apple up 2.25%. Apple reported earnings on Thursday evening or Thursday afternoon. So Friday had a big bounce. I think announced a pretty big buyback, $90 billion. So yeah, that was kind of the catalyst for the Friday bounce in the indices. Microsoft up 1%, Amazon flat, Google down almost 2%, Netflix down a little over 2%, and Meta down 3%. So Meta, like a little bit off the, quite a bit off the 52-week highs now. I think this was up around. It's not that much off it. But yeah, you can see that the, overall these were up, 4/10 almost, but really the Apple earnings were the story this week, and the rest kind of did whatever. A lot of these have already reported. Google, Microsoft already reported. Meta already reported. So, okay, let's move on to industries overall. And it's a little bit mixed-ish. Healthcare was the outperformer, up 1.3%. Industrials were flat, up 20 basis points. Utilities up 56 basis points. Rest were all red. Basic materials down 2%. Services down 1.5%. Tech down 75 basis points. So even though Nasdaq was flat, median tech stock was down almost 1%. So down 0.75%. Similar pattern to what we saw in the prior recap as well, where the Nasdaq dramatically outperformed the, median tech stock. I think there was something like 350 bips of outperformance. So, in this week, we're seeing something like 75 bips of outperformance from the Qs versus the median tech stock. So tech overall has been weaker than what the Nasdaq is suggesting. We're seeing like very high, how do I put this? Very high concentration in the Terra cap tech stocks, not so much in tech overall. Financials were weak, down 76 basis points. Regional banks continuing their struggles. They're still in the headlines day to day, depending on who is coming under pressure, who's folding, who's getting bought by JP Morgan, whatever. And consumer kind of flat, down 25 basis points. So subsector wise, we don't have a whole lot that was very strong this week. Gold and silver were up pretty good, up 5-6% each. We've got one semiconductor subsector up here at plus 7%. Drugs, some drug thing was up 5%, drug delivery. And rest were kind of whatever. You can see that they sort of flatline pretty quickly. And on the downside, financial, a lot of these regionals, okay, regional Pacific Bank, regional Mid-Atlantic banks, regional Northeast banks, regional Southeast, regional Midwest, regionals are having big problems. So it's a little bit overall on the sell side, I would say, but there's only really one sector that is dominating kind of these are all, they're all qualify as regionals, even though we have them split up here by the actual region. So the regional banks continue to be very soft overall, but the rest of everything is kind of, it's whatever. The things are not completely falling apart outside of those regionals. So, breadth slightly weak, with regional banks being the focus for poor performance. If we look at the breadth by market cap, we can go 1 to 5 billion, and let's get these ones here. Okay, we're down 66 basis points on 1 to 5 billion, 5 to 10 billion, down 64, or sorry, down 56. 10 to 50 billion, down 66 basis points. 50 to 100 billion, down 46 basis points, and 100 billion plus, down 93 basis points. So this is kind of telling because in general, we've been talking about concentration in these TerraCap stocks, but really, if you're not Apple or Microsoft, you're basically kind of not that loved right now. So, we have some of these, we have some here at this top of this list. Okay, Eli Lilly, I think has some new, probably has some new drug either coming out or doing better than expected or whatever. Stock's actually been on a tear since, really since COVID, but in recent months as well. So I would say that, well, first let's look at intelligence as well for this week. Okay, pretty thin on the bullish side here. We've got Nugget, gold miners bullish. Got short China is bullish, so bearish China. We've got financials bullish, so maybe you get like a little bit of reprieve in the banking sector. We've got utilities bullish, and short Russell is bullish, so bearish IWM or Russell 2000. I would think though, if you were, it's got to be one or the other out of these two, because if the financials bounce, then the Russell is gonna do fine. There's not gonna be any problems over there. So if we reverse this to look at the downside, okay, most bearish NRGD. So this is inverse big oil is the most bearish. So it would be bullish big oil. TARC is bullish ARC with some leverage. It's bearish, so bearish ARC. UVIX, again, volatility is bearish, seems like every week. So, especially in these summer months, volatility tends to get stomped on. Even if the market declines, volatility doesn't really ever pay off that well in the summer. Got Dow Jones Internet Bear ETF is bearish, so bullish Dow Internet stocks. Natty Gas UNG bearish, seems like as always. Okay, China Internet Bull ETF is bearish, so bearish Chinese internet stocks. Short midcap 400 is bearish, so bullish midcaps. That should help out, kind of the breadth of the market. We've kind of said the breadth has been a little bit weak last 2 weeks. Cloud computing bull ETF is bearish, so bearish cloud or SaaS or whatever. VIX, another bear thing. Cannabis, always bearish. Regional banks, bearish. And the Bloomberg Nickel Subindex, bearish for anyone participating in the nickel trade. Anyway, for this coming week, I would think that you're going to see sort of some, I would guess, more bearish action. I mean, the NASDAQ managed on the final day NASDAQ was down 4 days, Monday through Thursday, and then rallied all in one go to make it flat for the week. But I think probably you're going to see more sort of choppy to downside action in the market overall, and the NASDAQ as well. So, it was kind of, call it lucky or whatever, that Friday was a big up day, but overall for the week, the market is not doing too well. I mean, it's kind of just slowly being sold, rather than giant black flag type candles. Basically everything chops lower, you get one shot up, and then you just keep drifting lower again. So expect more of that this week. Maybe Monday will be sort of an up day. Maybe, for the S&P, maybe we'll get back to recouping the losses all the way from the prior week, kind of like the NASDAQ did on Friday. S&P could try a little harder to get back there as well. But I think once you get it to that sort of level or whatever it is, I forget kind of what the number even is, but I think after that, you're just going to maybe roll over again. So yeah, this is like prime calendar time for like sell in May type action. And I don't think you're really in trouble, or I don't think you're really at risk of like the market running away from you here at all. So no point sort of doing anything drastic. I think, you can buy dips, but I don't think it's necessary to chase the rips on the upside. So that's all from me. Hope you guys have a good week, and yeah, talk to you guys next week. Bye.